So look, I think you get an idea why we're here, based on the records requests I put in. And we do have serious questions about the use of the vehicle, the 2100 that is assigned to you, and your work ethic and accountability. Let's start with this. You're an avid golfer.
Yep.
And trying to find out where you would go during the day, we eventually found you would often leave the fire department and go golfing for hours, sometimes 6, even 7 hours in a day. How do you square that with taxpayers?
Well, I'm on call 24/7. I carry a radio with me constantly. I was always on my side and always have a cell phone on me.
So you're on duty on the golf course?
Always.
So are the taxpayers paying a full-time salary for an on-call chief?
Well, I'm on call constantly, 4 in the morning, holidays, all times of the day.
And how often do you get called in at 4 in the morning?
Quite often.
Do you, just wondering with your administrative duties, is there enough work for you here where you can go to the golf course so much?
Well, I would have to say that my work's done on a regular basis. Every day I come in the morning. I may golf sometimes. I take half days. I'm entitled to vacation time and
But you just said you don't have any time cards or logs or anything.
no, and my
So
contract pretty much says that I signed an agreement with the district.
So how do you take half days if there actually isn't any accountability of that?
Well, I do. I put in for the days. I can show you the slips that I utilize.
Yeah, that's what we're
Yes.
asking for, is
Yes.
that data.
Most definitely.
But even if you were to take a half day, you take the chief's car there.
Even if I were to, yes, because even if I take a day of vacation, unless I go out of state, if there is an actual incident, whether I take a half day or not, I still have to respond to whatever emergencies I'm needed at.
You see why people might be a little bit concerned about that? I mean, we're not talking about once or twice here that we have you there. I mean, we're talking a lot. And at a certain point, there might be a tipping point as far as how much time you spend there or away from here.
Most definitely, but I'm not there as much as you think I'm there, and when I am there, it would be a half day.
Always.
Yes.
But earlier in this interview, you said you're on duty even on the golf course, so I don't
Yes.
understand.
But I do take a half day. I'll take a half day off, but I still have to respond even if I'm off because I don't have anybody here to respond to emergencies.
We also found there were a lot of days that you would leave the fire station, disappear, and we didn't know where you went. Are there duties that consistently keep you away from this fire department?
No, I don't sit in my office 8 hours a day. I'll stay in the morning, I'll go out for lunch, I'll come back. Sometimes I go to the fire academy, sometimes I do other appointments that I have to take care of, things like that.
So you feel taxpayers should be confident about how much time you're putting in despite all the extracurricular activities that we have?
Most definitely. I do my job, the district runs fine. I'm always available 24/7 when anybody needs me.
You know, I think people are going to hear all this and wonder where the accountability is.
Yes, and it is. It's through the board of directors, and it also states in my contract I don't have the normal Monday through Friday 8 to 4 job.
And the board of directors, you think, will be comfortable when they see that you're at the golf course so much? They'll be okay with that?
Well, how much is so much?
A lot.
No,
No.
not at all. I may go there for lunch because I eat lunch.
A 7-hour lunch?
No.
Okay. Your license was suspended for a year. Talk to us about what happened. More than a year.
That's under litigation. I can't talk about that right now.
It's not. How is it under litigation? You had that.
Because the insurance company of the other individual is questioning
Oh, from what? I'm sorry, I don't follow you.
the accident.
I get the accident, but we're not talking about the accident. The accident didn't get your license suspended. Court records show that you had your license suspended, and then you went back on September 8th to the Rhode Island Traffic Tribunal, public records.
Yes.
That got rescinded.
Yes.
So we can talk about it. That litigation's over. So tell us what happened.
Yes. It was a ticket that my daughter received at college.
Okay.
The car's registered under my name. So when the car's registered under your name, they suspend your license.
Right, they don't know who's
I
behind
had no knowledge of it until the day of the accident. I did pay the ticket. It was an error on part of the DMV where they didn't pull the suspension notice, I guess, from what I was told from the traffic tribunal. Because when I went there, she said that ticket was paid. I don't know why your license is suspended.
Well, the records the court supplied showed that there was 3 notices sent to your house, and they even docked your income tax, $85 for the ticket, but they even did that. So you didn't notice any of that.
I paid the ticket when I received the letter that they were going to suspend my license.
Okay.
I paid the ticket, and then they still suspended my license.
The records show you took care of that problem at the traffic tribunal and the DMV, I assume,
Yes.
on September 8th. The fire department's insurance company representative confirms you were to have a meeting with him that day and didn't attend. I got to wonder why your personal situation was more important to take care of than something as important as the insurance rate here, the taxpayers pay for
What
with
insurance?
the department. You had a meeting with the...
I had a meeting with the ISO,
Right.
which rates your insurance.
From that day, and you did not attend because you were at traffic tribunal.
Yes, I think it was a little more important to get my license corrected, seeing that I have to respond to calls.
So, as you point out, you got into a car accident and your license was suspended. Can you understand why that might be a liability concern for the town or the district?
Yeah, and may have been. Like I said, I had no knowledge that it was suspended.
I gotta ask you this one. Anyone else that would have been cited for driving on a suspended license, they'd be arrested. They'd be taken in the police department. Why was it different for you? Why weren't you arrested?
I don't believe they do that anymore, from
No,
what the police officer told me.
they most certainly do. Is it because you're the fire chief in this town and
I couldn't tell you.
they didn't hook you up in any way?
Nope,
You think you were treated like everyone else?
pretty much. I believe there was a summons issued, I believe.
That
But
summons never left the police department or would
It
have
was
gotten to
corrected
district.
once the license was corrected.
Okay, I want to get back to the fire department vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
There are obviously some written language here in your contract. This vehicle's yours 24 hours a day. We have you drinking at a bar on a couple of occasions and getting behind the wheel of the town vehicle and actually coming back here. How do you explain that?
I don't believe I was drinking at a bar, but I may have been at a bar with a couple of the people from the fire station.
I can show it to you just so we can refresh your memory here.
Yes, that's my deputy chief.
And that's you with a beer in your hand?
Yes, it is.
And you drove the SUV and came back here?
Yes, probably one beer, most definitely.
That's
Not
okay.
very much of a drinker.
You're not.
No, not at all. You can ask anybody.
But this was at 12:45 in the afternoon.
Maybe we went to lunch, probably, yes. At, it may have been the Harris Bar and Grill.
It was the Harris Bar and Grill. But I'm a little shocked by your cavalierness here that this is okay.
Well, I had one beer, like I said. I usually do when I eat lunch.
You usually have a beer for lunch and then come back to work?
Not here all the time, but I wasn't working that day. It was a Friday. If you look, I didn't have a uniform on.
You're actually blocked in this picture, but I can tell you, you were here, you went there,
I
and
may
you
have.
came back.
I may have, yes. I come in and out of the building every day.
But you
all
told me you're
different hours.
always working. You're always on the clock.
Always,
Always.
always.
I'm not following you. How, if you're always working, how can you not be working and be drinking in the middle of the day?
I told you, I went to lunch and I had a beer.
Okay. Do you think that's an appropriate use of a taxpayer-funded vehicle?
If I think if I was inebriated, it wouldn't be, but I don't feel that I was.
How safe should people feel if you're drinking and quote-unquote always on duty? in the middle of the day?
At 12 o'clock, yes. At that time, when you got that picture, I did have one beer with my lunch, and that's all I can tell you.
Okay. I'm wondering if you think it's appropriate for you to drive the fire department vehicle to use for your, what I assume is your vacation cabin, more than 3 hours away in Woodstock, New Hampshire?
I usually don't. I did several times with permission from the chairman of the board of directors.
Why would he give you that permission?
Well, my daughter's car broke down, and my wife, she used my wife's car, and my wife had to use my personally owned vehicle.
Several times?
Well, probably a handful of times.
So taxpayers are
And
subsidized?
it was with my old vehicle, it wasn't with this one.
Okay, so it was the Tahoe prior to this one, you're saying?
Yes.
So taxpayers were subsidizing your trips up to your vacation home?
I utilized my own gas. I paid with my own credit card. I only used the vehicle because of the need to, and it was approved by the chairman of the board.
I have to assume the records to show that you used your own credit card probably don't exist anymore?
I'm sure they can if I can get them from American Express.
How long have you owned that cabin up there?
Oh, 5 years, 6 years.
So on Columbus Day, you were up on the hill. Is that work for your a family member's restaurant?
My daughter.
Is that a new
Yes.
spot? So again, you took the chief's car up there.
Yeah, I use it for non-related business. It's in my contract.
Why not take a personal car
Because I may have to respond.
from the hill?
Yes. But that, only if it was a real emergency. My deputy chief was covering me that weekend.
He was.
Yes.
So that would be one of those days that you're off.
Well, like I said, I'm never off. I may have to come in.
But you say you submit paperwork to take a half day or a full day, right?
No, it was the weekend, so
But you're always on.
I am. I'm on 24/7. Every fire chief in the country is.
But I also know fire chiefs also have to be held accountable for the time that they're paid and that they use. Well, let's look at your contract.
Well, I'm not paid on the weekend, but
Well, if everything you say is accurate, the contract you just gave me says you're entitled to 30 vacation days. You're
Yes.
entitled to 10 days a year of sick leave,
yes,
and you can cash those in if you don't use them.
yes. But I do use them most of the time. Go on vacation. I want to.
But so you wouldn't have submitted time for Columbus Day because
It was the weekend.
it was the weekend. All right. Why did you drink, and I can tell you it's more than one, and apparently smoke pot when you then get behind the wheel of your fire department vehicle?
I don't think I did. Excuse me 1 second.
No, I'd like you to
Oh, all
like
right.
you to stay. This is you smoking what looks to be pot.
Cigar, maybe?
You then share the cigar with your friends there?
I don't know.
That's a cigar?
Yes, it is.
You know, I got to tell you, Chief, no one's going to buy that. I think you and I both know that. So why don't we just talk honestly about what happened up there? And
I don't know. I told you I smoke cigars.
you smoke a cigar like this and then hand it to somebody else,
I don't.
and they hand it to you. That's-
Maybe.
I gotta tell you, that's not going to float with people watching this. We also recorded 2 men that night access the chief's vehicle without you there, remove objects, and roll what looks to be a joint. Are you transporting drugs in the fire department vehicle?
Not at all.
What was going on there?
I don't know. You
You got to do a little better than that.
I couldn't tell you.
Why would 2 guys have access to
Was the car open? I don't
a
know.
district vehicle? So someone broke into your...
Yeah, there was people stabbing tires too that night. I don't know what happened.
So they went to your car just to use it as a table to roll a joint? And-
Maybe. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I wasn't there.
You were there. The SUV was up there.
Yes, but I wasn't there that time. I don't know who went in my vehicle.
Collectively, this doesn't look very good.
No, it doesn't.
let's put the pot off to the side. You consumed what we figured out the next day after looking at all the video, a fair amount of alcohol. And you said you're not a big drinker, but
No.
there was a fair amount of consumption
Sips.
going up there.
Sips, maybe.
We saw beer after beer, maybe a little sangria thrown in there. Is that okay? Should the town, the district be concerned about the liability here?
Sure. If I was intoxicated, yes, they should.
But it's okay to have 4 or 5 drinks, get behind the wheel of the district vehicle.
Well, it depends on how long I spent in between.
And you think taxpayers are going to be okay with that?
No, they're probably not going to.
So what do you tell them? How do you explain it?
I don't know.
How are you going to explain that to the fire district board?
That's my problem to do that.
Well, let's say we're at a board meeting. What are you going to tell them? You're going to deny
That I did drink? Yes.
And you're going to also say that was a cigar?
Yes.
And the 2 gentlemen that got into your car?
I don't know who the 2 gentlemen were.
You're a little worried that they were able to get into the SUV, even if...
Yeah.
You're going to call the cops?
No. Well, I don't know who they were.
One of them worked with you at the sausage stand.
I don't know that. I don't know who they were.
Chief, I think you do.
No, I
I
don't.
think you do know what's happening here.
Not at all.
And you're just going to stick to that.
Yep.
You think the folks of this town are going to buy that?
Don't know.
Worried about that?
Yes and no.
Why not?
Depends.
Do you smoke marijuana?
No.
Never?
Nope. Well, when I was younger, yes.
But now you don't touch it? Yeah. I'm having a hard time believing that based on what we have here. Is there anything I missed?
Don't know. Is there anything else you have?
You don't think that's enough?
Probably.
Probably for what?
That I'll have to address the board.
When's the next board meeting?
Second Wednesday of November.
Do you think you're going to let them know about this in advance?
Certainly. I'll call the board of directors, the chairman.
All right, I can't ask any other questions. We can wrap it up.
Beautiful.